Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Pin to Pin, the Volleyball Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Tolman, with Danger Will Robinson and Noah Cotterman, our favorite producer behind the screen. And this is episode number 2, titled The Early Years. Let's get this show on the road. The old high five. I think we're going to start every episode with a high five, Will.
Why?
Well, Lily, my daughter, she's my youngest. She was maybe our first critic, gave us our first real review. She said she liked the high five. So I think we're going to go with it. It's kind of sporty.
So our first critic was your daughter.
Maybe. We heard from a lot of people over the last week or so about our podcast. Did we not?
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
So many.
So here we are, episode number 2. We're going to get this show going. I'm excited to be here. Kind of get a little momentum here with the
Get the hang of it too.
Yeah.
Keep learning how to do this.
We're getting better at it.
Hopefully, we're the right spot for that.
Right. We got our show sheet set up now. We've got a timer. We got lights.
Oh, we're
rolling.
got a setup.
The one thing we don't have yet is the boom arm.
What's a boom arm?
It's the thing that holds the mic so our hands can be free, right?
So then I can.
Yeah.
No arms.
Right. Yeah. Well, so you can get your drink and still be in the microphone like last time.
Look, Ma, no hands.
Yeah.
There, yeah.
Last time
that's what I was trying to.
You put your mic down. You put your mic down last time and you got a drink and then no one could hear you.
I was parched.
Amateur.
I've been talking.
Amateur, bro.
So I have to alternate hands. That's a skill I don't have yet.
Yeah, we got to get better at that.
The one thing we did add to the set were two.
Well,
is it 2 pictures? I don't know how many you actually put up.
2 of Will's pictures up here. Yeah.
Yep. Noah will get his up soon.
And part of the reason
I'll get my Letterman.
That'd be cool.
Do you have your W?
Oh, I do. I don't know. I'd have to go to my box. Katie, my wife, Katie has a box.
Do you have your Letterman?
I do not. I did not get one from Ironwood the only year I was there.
I can get
I'm
that.
sure I could get one.
I can get one. I got you. I'm in athletics. I can be like, hey,
yeah, we got a guy.
We need one.
Fair.
I don't know how, but I can do it.
So the reason why we put that up there, and something that we forgot to do last time, was finish our introduction.
So what did we miss?
We talked about being coaches at Aspire, right? Volleyball club in Tempe, Arizona. We talked about our origins, but then we stopped. We stopped at that and didn't get to the high school part. I think we alluded to a little bit. I'm at Perry High School, which is out in Gilbert, Arizona. This is my 6th year there. Right. I coach the boys varsity team. Obviously, we talked a little bit about some of those pictures behind us.
And the girls.
And then I'm the JV coach for the girls. Yep. I get to coach with the legendary Fred Mann. Yep.
I don't know if we can say
the godfather of Arizona volleyball.
Could we get him on this podcast?
We probably can.
Wow.
I'd probably have to pay for his golf. I could bribe him.
That's how you do it.
Sure.
Yep.
And so maybe one day we get Fred. Won a state championship last year. We talked about that last time.
On the boys' side? I don't know if we did.
I don't know. My son Garrett was our setter. And it was pretty special doing that with my son.
Yep, well, that guy.
So I don't know if you see that or not, but a big hug there. So
if not,
and then you've got the school jacket on right now where you coach.
This is a cool jacket.
So you do high school at
Dobson, my alma mater. Yeah. I'm the boys and girls coach, and my AD likes to call me the director, whatever that means.
Of volleyball operations.
No, not operations. Just
volleyball.
Director of volleyball.
That's
I oversaw who got the beach gig a little bit, but not much.
So you have a big role. And
so
that's a great jacket.
It's great, but you know what? This swoosh is going to go to a U and an A here pretty soon.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's okay. And then Noah just actually
what's your got a
here,
job. Buddy?
What
is this the official announcement? Technically,
I mean, this is going to be the way that most people find out, probably.
Should we do this right now or no?
I think it's fine too.
Yeah, no, I've been told that I'm good to tell people.
Okay, so Noah just got a job.
Yeah, not too long ago, I accepted the head coaching job for the boys program at Higley High School out in.
Congratulations, man!
Thanks.
And you're 24.
Yes,
and that's how old I was when I got hired at Desert Vista to coach that team. You know significantly more about volleyball than I did, and we talked about that last time, so we won't get into that now.
I don't know how old was I.
I don't.
I think it was
I don't remember. You 24 as well. It's good age to start coaching.
I think so.
High school volleyball. Apparently,
I think so. I don't know.
This kind of leads.
That's a great school.
Yeah. Higley's
for volleyball.
Great. Lots of kids.
Of players.
Definitely.
A lot of players.
I'm
there.
excited. Should be fun.
This kind of leads into our topic a little bit.
Does it? Segue?
Young guys, young people in general, guys, girls, right? they are getting hired to coach big programs
Okay.
at a young age because, and not that you guys and me, I was certainly not prepared. You guys significantly more prepared for the jobs you got than I was. But hard to find good quality volleyball coaches.
Hard to find coaches.
Not just in Arizona, but just around the country.
Yep.
Good quality volleyball coaches. They don't grow on trees.
No, they do not.
So a lot of times you get, especially for boys volleyball in Arizona, there's obviously parts of the country I'm sure that they have more coaches than we do here. But boys volleyball in Arizona, sometimes it's hard to find a guy or a gal.
Just a person.
Yeah.
I need a responsible adult
So a lot
to teach a little bit about volleyball.
a little bit. A lot of athletic directors will do what they did when I got hired. Like, oh, we got a guy. He's got a degree.
Yeah.
He's
going to learn.
He's a coach. He'll learn. He's like, yeah, he won't totally screw it up, right?
Yeah.
So, we're going to talk about the origins of volleyball. Not origins, but like how to get kids started, where to look to start, the pros and cons of the sport. We're going to talk a little bit about the difference between the boys and girls game, what to look, like what are some options moving forward? Why is it more popular in some parts of the country as to others, or some parts of our state as to others? Just a lot of stuff to just kind of get kids started playing volleyball. Let's start with pros, Will. From your perspective, why, if I were brand new, right, I got a kid and I'm trying to find a sport for him, sell me on why I should pick volleyball.
For a boy or a girl?
Doesn't matter. Does it matter?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Because in the long run, you do have to think about the college part of the sport. I do think that. Now, when it comes to like the actual good side of volleyball, it's a huge team sport. That's number one. But when it comes to the long run, we'll talk about that later, the college difference between girls and boys.
Team sport. Well, so if the kid's just, listen, I got an 8-year-old, right? And I think I want to get him or her into a sport. I don't know that college is entering my brain.
Yeah.
Should it?
It's so hard.
Well,
I think if you have an 18-year-old, yes. But if it's your firstborn, maybe not. Right?
Yeah.
Your experience as a parent's going to determine.
A couple nights ago, I watched the movie King Richard about the Williams sisters, Venus and Serena.
Will Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith's great.
Greatest.
He's incredible. And Richard Williams kind of knew at 8, right? Like, oh, my girls are going pro. You know what I mean? So maybe
that's what they say about Tiger Woods' dad too. He's like, you're gonna be the best.
Yeah, maybe it matters. All right, so my kid's average, right? And I need him to play a sport. Why volleyball? You mentioned team sport.
The team sport.
Why is that from your perspective? Why do you think it's such a great team sport?
You literally can't hold on to the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all. I think
it's actually against the rules.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that would be number one. So you can't have a ball dominant person. You can have an extremely skilled person, an athletic person that stands out, but even then they can't will a team to victory.
Right.
It just can't happen. Has to be. You probably have to have at least 4 people.
Sure.
2 other people can just be like, I'm
3
here.
at the very least.
Yeah, 3 at the very least.
Maybe 2 if they're really, really good. Yeah. I think in the United States in general, people are really drawn to football right now. Right? It's a great sport to watch. I love it. Saturdays and Sundays, I'm watching football.
Even if you're a Cowboys fan.
Well, right now it's okay to be a Cowboys fan.
Go Cowboys, baby. Go Cowboys.
Okay.
Go Cardinals.
Jeez.
They play here pretty soon.
Can't believe we have to deal with that.
Calendar.
Did you know you knew he was a Cowboys fan before we asked him to be our producer?
It's fine.
I probably would have said no.
It's fine.
Anyway, so people
he could be a Raiders fan.
Well,
America's team.
Could be worse. America's team. That back in the 80s, right? I guess they won the Super Bowl in the 90s, so probably
he wasn't even alive, and he's like, "This is my team."
Have they done anything since you were born?
The butt fumble
let me down.
No, that was the Jets, bro.
Oh,
they've let me
that's
down.
Right. That is
year after year.
Year after year. Congratulations. Yeah, you know what real pain feels like.
Yes, unfortunately.
Well, I'm
it's
an
a
Arizona
cool stadium.
I'm an Arizona sports fan. Sun Devils, Phoenix Suns, Cardinals, D-backs. I've only had 1 year where I was excited, and that was back when the D-backs won the World Series.
That only 1 year. Last year wasn't fun for you?
Did you get let down?
Maybe.
Yeah, of course, right? That's how it goes.
Up 2-0.
Right. So we digress a little bit. Anyway,
Totally fine.
Football.
Big popular sport.
Huge sport, team sport, right? You have to have 11 guys out there. There's 22 total on the field at one time. 11 offense, 11 defense, but you could ball dominate it, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you look at a guy like Lamar Jackson. You know, when he was in Pee Wee football, his team probably never lost, right? They just give him the ball and he's gone, right? So
he couldn't do that in volleyball.
Definitely not. And I think that's a draw for sure.
Or a con, because a lot of parents are like, "Why is my kid not serving?" That's like the one
point.
thing.
That's a good point.
The parents are like, "I want to see my kid with the ball on the end line because everyone's watching him." This is the one time.
No, you're right.
Yeah. So I think.
Why is my kid not in the game? They don't understand rotations. Why is my kid not in the game all the time?
Yeah. Why do they just go to the middle front right when they? Well, that's a middle blocker.
Yeah,
that's what middle blockers do.
They have a job.
Yep.
I think with the football perspective, interestingly, I think the fact that volleyball is a non-contact sport with other people, right? You're contacting contacting the ground and things like that, but you're not physically in contact with other people. I think that's attractive to.
I think so too. It's a safe sport,
parents,
right? I mean, you got ankles, you got shoulders, and you got knees, like every other jumping sport.
Right.
But when it comes to concussions, you know, I think if you got a crazy arm on the other side, that's when you got to worry. But that doesn't happen much.
Get your hands up, right?
We got a lot of lot of highlight reels.
Yeah, we got some of those. You know what I love about volleyball? The range of athletic skill that is required to play it.
It's dynamic. You have to move in a great way. If you're not a good mover, volleyball is probably not your thing. Yeah.
And
you gotta be able to move.
I recruited when I was at Desert Vista and even here at Perry to a little bit of a lesser extent because we have a ton of volleyball players. And maybe I need to recruit more inside the school. When I was coaching at Desert Vista, I would look for basketball players. I was coaching basketball too at the time. I did JV basketball for 6 years. Yeah. Well, my selling point to those boys was, listen, you're gonna get vertical. You're gonna get lateral, right? And you're gonna be able to body control more from volleyball because you're not crashing into the net, right? You have to control yourself. Yep. In basketball, it's crashing into a body or whatever. That's not necessarily as big of a deal. So I never saw it really as a negative to those basketball players. And recruited a guy, Michael Proctor. You remember that name?
Dude, one of the coolest bounces on YouTube.
Yeah. Look, yeah.
Oh,
maybe Noah could find it. The Desert Vista promo video from back in the day.
Just bam. That was in Mountain Point's gym,
right? Off the floor, 2008, and it hit the basketball rim that was like pushed up to the ceiling. It was incredible.
Yeah. He was a basketball guy. And he finished with basketball, correct?
He did.
He went back.
He played basketball in college at University of Northern Colorado.
But he could have been.
He could have been
special. I think way more special in volleyball. You think?
I think he could have been an Olympian. He was good. He was
athletic.
He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, he hit the state playoffs his junior year. He hit 750 through
that's
the playoffs.
When you got this
incredible.
one.
Yeah, right there behind your head there.
That's this one.
So
Proctor's right there.
Yeah, there he is, right, the tall guy. Yeah, the giant in the middle.
Yeah.
But just an incredible amount of skill is required to play. You take all of that athleticism, and then you also have to be able to throw, right? I think the biggest problem
after jumping high,
right?
And finding a ball.
Right.
Oh, dude,
there's a lot going on.
Yeah. At a high level, this sport, the Olympians make it look so easy, of course.
And there's a lot to like from a parent perspective when you're seeing your kid do those things. One of the biggest problems we get is these days is boys and girls showing up and having no idea how to throw.
Why does that happen?
Well, you tell me. What did you grow up doing? What was the sport that you grew up doing?
I'm named after Will Clark. I'm not named after Lost in Space Danger Will Robinson, even though that is my nickname.
I loved Will Clark.
So
Will the Thrill.
Will the Thrill.
San Francisco Giants.
So my mom that was like her crush, right?
Okay.
Like Will the Thrill.
Yeah.
Loved him.
First baseman.
Went to San Fran's game all the time.
Left-handed, just a smooth
He's
stroke.
not a Mr. 3000 guy, but I think he's a 2000. Like he's good ball player.
Yeah.
So I was named after him.
Okay.
So what do you think the first sport I was in?
Well, here's a baseball.
T-ball.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the first thing I did.
Right.
All right. And then that was horrible because baseball's.
But see, that's the problem. I say nobody. Very few kids play baseball, T-ball, baseball anymore.
Yeah, so I did that. But then when I started throwing a bunch, would have been flag football. That was the first sport that I was like, Mom, we're late to, like, we got to go. I was telling my mom, like, we got to, like, so that's how you know the kid likes the sport.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to, itching to play.
Yeah.
But throwing a football is different than throwing a baseball.
Yeah.
It's a different motion.
It is.
And then volleyball is more baseball-like than football.
You think so?
I do.
I think football is higher than baseball, like contact point, release point. Because like baseball pitchers can use that like lever. Yeah.
You go sidearm, but
if you're Pat Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, you're throwing basically the same way
those
now.
Those guys are crazy. So I grew up.
Did you throw a lot?
Throwing all the time. Played catch with my dad for hours. Was a huge baseball guy. I mean, when you said Will Clark, I mean, I geeked out, right? Huge baseball guy.
Not a baseball guy.
Oakland Athletics fan. I bled that
Billy Bean,
green and yellow. I was way before that. Was the Bash Brothers.
Just take it.
Mark McGuire, Jose Canseco. I love those guys, right? Used to beg to stay up late at night to watch baseball. So I grew up throwing a ball. But a lot of kids don't. I'll get a kid in the gym.
It's super valuable.
I'll get a kid in the gym. Like, hey, here's how you hit, right? Have you ever thrown a baseball? No.
All right. Well, we need to kind of get into this position here.
Here's a tennis ball. You ever held one of those? No. Right. Here's a tennis ball. So anyway, so I just like the vast.
There's so many different movement patterns in our sport that are in other sports.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
Right,
and like the way a lineman moves with their body is very similar to a blocker.
Yeah.
It's nuts. If you see inline view and that cool, I don't know what view that it was. That bird's eye
camera thing or
bird's eye?
Yeah, sure. Those are great selling points. I think some of the
all around.
Yeah,
you're going to be an all around athlete.
I think some of the cons at times, why kids don't find volleyball or why parents don't push them into volleyball, hard to find. Right, equipment wise, you got to have a net and all that. I mean, I know you can just start with
ease
the ball, right? It's hard to find a place to play. There's you can't really do it alone.
No.
Even though it kind of conjures thoughts of the pandemic, all those videos with
all the bouncy,
people, off the boxes and everything. People trying to just stay in shape to a certain extent, but you can't do it alone. And I do think, to a certain extent, for parents when they look at it, there's not a lot of cardiovascular activity happening,
not at the same intensity.
They're just not running like other sports.
I want to see my kid, like, they need to come home exhausted or else they're not playing a sport.
They could run up and down a soccer field for 2 hours and the parents are like, this is great.
This is what I want to see.
Yeah.
They're tired.
They're doing something. Even though they might not have done a dang thing.
They didn't learn anything, but man, they're moving.
They're moving. They're running. I grew up playing a lot of soccer. I think soccer's a great place for people to start. Like
I totally agree.
If you're looking for
I would
a sport,
much rather have played soccer because then I could have at least moved with the huddle. Just ran.
Just be with your friends instead of right field by yourself.
I was in right field making little grass huts.
Yeah.
So I wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think soccer is great. That's why I think it's
body control. It's probably one of the more popular sports in the world.
I think it's just more like, can you move? Remember moving thing?
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
your kid just playing sports.
Yeah, I agree. Get them out
even
there
if
doing
they're bad.
something.
It's great if they're bad. It's like, they're not going to be great at everything right away.
The health benefits are incredible. The mental benefits. These days, we need more mental health discussions, don't we?
Yeah.
It's something that's really, really near and dear to our hearts. We talk about this a lot. It is hard.
Athletics is hard. So if you're not mentally right, you can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, who just like dropped out of the Olympics?
Simone Biles.
Yeah.
Struggled a little
and
bit.
I totally
with
get
mental
it.
Stuff. Yeah.
It's like if you're not mentally there, you can't do it.
Right. For sure. All right. So let's keep moving down the line here. Indoor versus sand.
Okay.
Is there a difference? Like, okay, so again, we're back to me trying to find a sport for my kid. I watch the Olympics, a lot of sand volleyball in the Olympics. There's a lot to like about sand volleyball.
Beach is going to be a lot more of it's about my kid now. Mm-hmm. You get to see your kid do more things from a parent perspective.
Right.
They're going to be more well-rounded from a volleyball perspective because they have to do every skill.
Right. We'll learn how to communicate a little bit better because it's you and someone else, right? That part is different.
I think your connection with that said person you're talking about, it definitely has to be more close. I don't know if I said that right. It has to be closer sure than an indoor team because an indoor team, if you don't like two people, well, then you just don't talk to them. But if you don't like your beach partner, that's a problem.
Time for a new beach partner.
Yeah. Trade.
It'd be awesome. It'd be awesome if we lived near an ocean.
We're getting, yeah. Do we need an ocean is probably the question.
Well, it's an advantage, right?
You think so?
I mean, would
just
you,
because the climate?
Okay, well, Will. Yeah.
Dang it.
Here, I'll ask Noah this question.
We can't just make a bunch of sand courts?
Let's wake Noah up over there. Noah, would you rather go play sand at the neighborhood courts or at Huntington Beach in California?
I'm in Huntington Beach every 7 out of 7 days.
Really? I'm shocked that you would pick that. I really am.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to just drive a mile over here and find the little, I mean, the
Dude,
sand.
McQueen Park, man.
I've had my fair share of scraped knees from that park,
Yeah,
so
right.
I'll pass on that one.
So I think it's an advantage. We go to California. We go to California.
It's a part of the culture there. They have a huge advantage over
Our
it.
boys get smoked when a lot of times
All
we go
the
to
time.
California. Those boys are playing sand volleyball, beach volleyball from a little young age, and we don't have that advantage here. You know,
We don't. I would say they're probably, I don't know, 500,000 reps ahead. If I'm just like, they're so far ahead. They've seen so much more.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably playing with their parents who are not. They don't want their kid to suck, so they're gonna give them knowledge.
Right.
You know.
it is a generational thing too.
It
The volleyball sport. We see so many people who played and put their kid in it. It hasn't happened for me yet, but someday I'm going to coach one of my players' kids.
Yes.
I got to get old.
Player.
Older.
Yeah,
older. I'm old, but older, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be a long time for me.
Am I ever going to coach one of your guys' kids? That's the question. Am I going to
Well,
last that long?
I don't know, man. Like it depends on if you still like doing this, dude. That's the thing.
Yeah. There are days. Well, there are tough days.
Exactly.
I think that depends on if we have kids also.
Yeah. Well,
So we have to.
And Noah and I are both single factual, so like we need a counterpart.
prospect. Yeah, we got a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Andrew McCall, maybe I get his
That
kid
would be
soon, right?
that'd be a good one.
Our buddy Andrew McCall coaches with
I'm
us
sure
at Aspire.
there's a kid up here.
Had recently married, and
He could be your first.
he could be my first. That'll be exciting. So, all right. So I've decided to play. We're back to this parenting, right? This scenario. I've decided to play volleyball. I got my kid. Okay. He's going to play. Or she, right? Mm-hmm. Formal versus informal training. Is that a make or break? Because I know nowadays kids don't just play. And that's not just volleyball, it's every sport. They for the most part, they're not just going out and playing. It's like, I got to go train. I got to go get my private coach. I got to go to practice. I got to go to So from your perspective, is that the best way to do it?
I think there's a happy medium, but when it comes to a kid learning a sport, I think throwing a ball out and say, go figure it out is probably best.
Yeah.
Now you need to give them some guidance.
Sure.
Like that's probably like, no, you can't bump this way.
Right.
I just said bump. Yeah.
Pass.
Yeah. You can't do this that way. Right?
Right.
So, but when you let them just venture and have their own fun discovery of the sport, you're going to see them come up with things faster. And
Right.
one cool thing, what is one thing at our club that we do that we're just like, go play? That organically teaches them things all the time without us even coaching. What's one thing?
Short court. Tons of short court. Yeah.
Short court, man.
Yep.
They see more reps.
Right.
It's just, and then we don't even teach them things. Natural things happen, and then they naturally do things.
Right.
And that's what I like.
Sure. No, I agree. It's funny because you have evolved to a certain extent with that.
Yeah.
A few years ago it's been 4 years now.
I don't know.
When my son Garrick was 15, remember you coached that team.
Yep.
They were freshmen. He's a senior now, and you were at that whiteboard a lot.
Correct. That was a culture change too, because your 14s year you had them, and then they went to me 15s.
Right.
Did they use the whiteboard much?
Not at all.
No.
I hated the whiteboard.
Hated the whiteboard.
They just needed to play. I was the philosophy let's touch.
And then I think a good time to get them to start getting cerebral about a sport would probably be like that freshman time, because that's when they need to start thinking about varsity.
Right.
But
Skills
but
that transfer.
it's going to be so hard though, because not every kid is going to get in the sport at the right time. But
Different levels.
You just have to play a lot to determine if you actually like the
Right.
sport for what it is.
Right.
Because we're not all going to be all Americans. It's impossible.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be an All-American for a while.
Never. No, sorry.
Wow.
No.
I didn't have a chance. I thought it though.
No, never me.
I think I thought it because I was, back to the formal versus informal. I was in the front yard all the time.
Just doing what?
Basketball in my hand.
Yep. Shooting, just shooting free throws, doing layup lines.
Yeah. There's like you see these funny
Mike
videos.
and drill.
You see, well, that's a miserable drill, but you see these funny videos online where the kids are like, 3, 2, 1, let's go,
Every kid
for hours. And then I used to daydream that these scouts would drive by the front yard when I was out there hooping, and they'll just stop. They're like, this kid, we got to sign this kid. Yeah. This is it. This kid's the real deal.
Tall, slender kid right here.
Yeah, goofy kid.
This is the Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, well, I was built a little bit like Chet Holmgren.
Number 1 draft pick. Future number 1 draft pick.
You're probably not wrong. Tall with lots of skill, but
at least a lottery.
Needs to put some weight on.
And it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, good.
He and I have a bet about that.
He's good.
One thing we didn't talk about is what is a great place to actually start play.
Good point.
Organize, quote unquote, for the people listening to this. Yeah.
I think you start as early as you can, right? Like,
and where?
The YMCA.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I think honestly, 5 years old.
Just here, go try it.
Yeah, throw them out there.
Because how old were you, Noah, at the YMCA? It was the Y, right?
Yeah, I started at the YMCA. I was, I think
grade?
my first year was 3rd grade, so I was
8th or 9th,
7,
8 or 9,
yeah, 7 or 8, I think, something like that.
I think it's 9. I think 3rd grade's 9. 8 turning 9.
I don't know.
You guys haven't had kids. I know.
Fair.
I coach high school.
Yeah, right. They're older than that.
I'm at high school. I know the ages at high school.
Get them started, right? So put them in the YMCA. Have them just.
And then it's going to be organized, but not.
It's going to be horrible
compared to what. Well, it's all relative. For the first beginning, seeing your kid get their first serve over is like, I know, and then they realize the service line's actually 20 feet back.
back there. Yeah, you're right. But it's awesome. I love seeing.
Because it's pure. It's just like, yay, we're here. Like, it's happy. It's just cheer for the kids, have fun for the kids. And
you
then
get 3 touches and it goes over the net and everyone's Super Bowl win.
The parents are more excited than the kids. Kids don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they're like, we're just out here doing our thing.
We did it 3. We did 3. We got that.
Yeah, that's funny. So we decided to play. Let's dive in now to, with the time we have left here, let's dive into boys versus girls. Because you asked that earlier, right? Like, is it a boy or is it a girl? If it's a boy and let's say we start early, right? My boys both started Garrick started in the 6th grade. Dax was in the 7th grade. Pretty early, actually, for boys. But some of them are starting a little earlier.
Yeah. I think it's catching on here, too.
Why do you think that we can't get more boys?
Because they're playing all the other premier sports.
Yeah.
The big sports, the basketball, the football, maybe even soccer. Yeah, soccer's for sure going to be bigger.
At that
maybe
age,
not for our demographic, though, but yeah, I think. And then and baseball. That's going to be another premier sport.
Early.
And then we get the rejects, the kids that just fall out or realize this isn't the sport that I'm going to be the best at.
Right.
I have had so many baseball players.
Baseball players are great.
Oh, and they can
volleyball
crack
players.
balls.
Right. So I've had this conversation a lot with a bunch of different people. I think a solution would be the college opportunities, the post-high school opportunities. I think if they were...
So we need to teach the people what's the difference between an NCAA Division I scholarship for a program, how many they get, versus women.
So women are full rides, right? Like Division I programs, they get, what is it?
12.
12 scholarships.
They get 12 total. And they have to be full rides.
And they're full rides.
Or walk-ons.
Or walk-on.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
And then for men...
4.5.
4.5 is the most.
And there's not even every school has men's volleyball. That's the other crazy part is you can't even find it everywhere. It's wild. So I think the opportunities need to grow for boys.
And there's some cool people doing cool things. First Point, John Spraw, he's doing crazy things, making a ton of money, getting the HBCUs. That's one thing.
That's cute, huge.
Getting the minorities playing our sport is great.
It's growing.
It's so growing.
It's awesome to see.
Yeah.
It's fun to be a part of.
Fellow Spire guy, Ray Lewis at HBCU.
Right.
What's the
Central State?
Central State. We have some alum there, correct?
I don't think anybody went.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they did.
I think he was trying to get Who was
he
it?
did get one.
Was Tucker going? Tucker Cunningham, I think, might be joining him at Central State. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, so opportunities are going to be.
Right.
I mean, if we showed you the list of how many women's schools there are versus men's, oh my gosh, it's 10-1 maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
So the cool thing for boys is we get the boys that really want to be there, which is awesome.
The commitment's way different.
They love it.
Yeah, way different.
Sometimes girls think it's a job, but the boys love it.
Yep.
So I think the moral of the story is play.
Play a ton. Have
Get
fun.
your kid out there.
Yep.
Let's get them trying it, right? Expose them to it. If they don't like it, they don't like it.
And that's
But
fine.
I wish more kids would start.
Just try our
Moms
sport.
and dads, give it a try. Yeah.
Play short court 10 times.
Right.
Like just 10 times. That's what, like when we have a kid just come in at Dobson for open gym, just go play short court.
Yeah. Just give it a try.
Just go play. Or if you're that scared of the net, go against the wall.
You could find early success playing short court. You really
100%.
can. Yeah.
Yep.
It's cool.
Or spike ball. Either one.
Yeah. Similar. Spike ball's bringing some interest to the sport. A cool thing that we've got going right now with our girls is at Aspire, we're associated with this LOVB thing. We talked a little bit about it in the first
What does
podcast.
LOVB stand for?
League One Volleyball. It's a group of people. I think we talked about it a little bit, but a group of people who are pushing the girls' game, right?
Yeah.
My mom called me the other day and she's like, "Hey Ryan, I want to watch the NCAA women's tournament."
It's a hot mess.
You can't even
Unless
find it.
if you know what ESPN Plus is, you're
Right.
set.
You're willing to pay the $7 a month. That's tragic.
We just said $7 a month is a lot, but still,
But
what if this would have happened to
the men's game, the men's basketball?
Heck no.
Can you imagine?
Heck
or even
no.
the women's basketball. You can find that on ESPN
lacrosse
for free.
I've seen lacrosse. Like,
Well, they'll put the finals. You get lacrosse at the finals, but so the lacrosse.
how is this not on TNT? You're telling me they can't market this on TNT?
Well, I think
like,
that's
what the heck?
So these people at LOVB, I think that's where they're going, which is cool. We're going to market. We're going to push. We're going to get exposure. And as the women's game grows, it inevitably, I think the boys' game is going to continue to follow, because moms who played get their boys to play. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, and football is dangerous. Yeah. And moms don't want their kids to play.
Don't want their kids to get hurt.
Heck,
so.
even dads. Like, no,
Right.
dude,
Right.
I don't want you having those brain problems, getting cracked. Good.
Right. Well, so this was a fun conversation. We're going to continue the conversation as far as what
that was cool.
where we're going.
People can't see that, but that was so cool. Are you going to tell them? I think that's so cool.
Will was excited that I controlled the show screen with my toe. I'm not wearing shoes. They're probably like, "Oh, really, Tolman, you're not wearing shoes."
That's fine.
I'm not.
That's fine. This is very
so.
informal. If you can't tell, we're on a couch.
Yeah, it's a great couch.
It is.
Stole it from my bedroom. So, full disclosure,
Katie's bedroom.
Katie was
Katie's
Katie, right? Next episode, we're going to kind of get more into some specific development and training, when to increase competition intensity. So
kind of like the switch. Like your kid, they tried the sport. They tried the YMCA thing. They did the developmental teams.
Right.
Now it's like, oh, hey, this is what it means to commit to the sport.
Talk a little bit about, like you mentioned with Garrick's team, that freshman team, that it was that moment when they needed to know more, right?
Yep.
So when does that come? When does that happen for us?
Tricky.
So we're real excited to move through this journey with you guys. We're grateful that you joined us here for episode 2. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. Find us here on YouTube. You probably already did if they got this far, right? So they've already watched the episode.
Hopefully.
We probably should have said it at the beginning, but hopefully you've turned on those, you've subscribed, turned on those notifications. We're going to keep pushing our content out to you, and we're excited.
Podcasts
to do
are
so.
coming. Don't worry, folks. The audio only version is coming. We're building. Like you said, the journey. We're on a journey.
On a journey.
We'll get there.
So go find a ball, find a friend, pepper, have fun, and we'll see you on the court. We'll see you out on the court really soon.
Cross net.
Something, right? Adios, amigos.